Hi there, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our program, An Evening with Rajvin and Waran. Today is Teachers' Day, so happy Teachers' Day, my dear teachers over there. Selamat Hari Guru, and thank you for all the help, Cikgu. Thank you so much for being with us, molding us, and making sure that we become who we are today. So thank you, Cikgu. Terima kasih banyak-banyak ya. As you already know, right, by now, this program is dedicated to showcase Rajwin Kaur Randawa, a motivator, a laughter yoga coach, a lovely friend. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at the age of 1, and ever since that day, she could not do anything. Well, at least that's what a lot of people thought. But Rajwin did otherwise. She went places. So she went through a normal school, university, friends as usual, and now she is the finalist for Miss Amazing Malaysia Season 2. Can you beat that? So she just got her Train the Trainer certification from PSMB, and now she is here to host this program. This is a pay as you wish program, ladies and gentlemen. So if you think that you want to contribute in any ways possible, please do so. We will show you the bank details later. The financial blessings will then go directly to Rajwin Kaur. So let's start. I shall now call upon our dearest host for the day, Rajwin Kaur Randawa. Rajwin?
Hello everyone.
Hi
Happy
there, how
Teacher.
are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Happy Teachers Day to you, Warren.
Thank you. Happy Teachers Day to you too, Rajwin.
Thank you so much. And today, everyone, we Sat Sri Akal and Happy Teachers Day to all my teachers out there. Thank you so much for molding me into the person I am today. And today, I am very privileged to introduce to you uh, we have we, today we have Mr. Handsome, uh, handsome, handsome, caring, outspoken um, tra- uh, trainer, Mr. Chen Ping, who was also my teacher. I'm very privileged to host this to in to have him in the show. So now, please put your hands together for Mr. Chen Ping.
There you go. Hi there, Chan. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening, and happy Teachers Day to Warren, to Rashwin, to all the teachers here, all the participants here. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the introduction, Rashwin. I like especially the handsome part.
I know, right? Only you got it, Chan. Happy
Only I
Teachers
got
Day.
it, huh? Hope everybody has a fruitful day today. Today is a Sunday. Hopefully, mentally, psychologically, everybody is very relaxed.
Go ahead, Rajwin.
Chen, I want to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Hope you are ready. And without further ado, let's begin today's show. Let's rock on.
All
So,
right.
firstly, is tell us more about yourself.
Myself,
Your
then I
humble
have to go back to a bit of memory lane. Um, I am a chemical engineer by training, by qualification. But during my 4 years in University of Malaya, I always half jokingly say that I'm a self-proclaimed low tech but high touch person. So two things that always intrigue me all my life. Number one is about human behavior. Number two is about learning process. So not long after I graduated, I actually went into financial services. I call myself a financial engineer, combining the logic, the facts, numbers, and also the human behaviors, right? And then, like why some people say it, as destiny has it, I become an accidental trainers. Started my journey in training as a road safety specialist, I conduct defensive driving, and then somehow one thing leads to another. I am conducting train the trainer for PSMB now, or HRDF, or now formerly HRDF. Now they are called HRD Corp now. So that is a bit of my journey, Ashwin.
I'm sure. Thank you so much for the enlightening introduction about yourself. I'm sure everyone has a favorite moment as a trainer or teacher. So, what was your a favorite moment as a teacher or a trainer?
Favorite moment when I'm conducting training, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, many. There are many moments that I love about conducting training. Whenever I see all the participants, they are working together, they are immersing themselves into the activities, they enjoy, they work together, they laugh together, they learn together. I love the moment whenever they share that they have learned something new. I love the moment whenever they share that they have learned something about themselves because of there are a lot of self-reflection session as well. So these are the moments. Ashwin, are you okay?
Yeah, Rajvin, are you good?
Yeah. So, so
Okay.
yeah.
While
So
you're
Sometimes
just
my sometimes my favorite moment are also the moments when unexpected thing happens.
I know, right?
Because I believe everybody, many of us, we know who Charlie Chaplin is. There was this
Yes,
saying, he say that sometimes the most exciting performance is the moment when things goes wrong, and then you have to
exactly,
think on your feet
exactly.
and then work something out. Are you
And
good,
we call it the
Rashmi?
Murphy's Law, yeah?
The Murphy's
yeah.
Law, yes, the Murphy's Law. Talking
So
about
Go ahead,
Murphy's Law,
Rajvin.
yeah,
so the,
Rashmi.
as a trainer, right? Did you ever experience any darkest moment?
There you
Darkest
go.
moment. Oh,
Darkest
wow.
moment.
Very, very scary question. Darkest moment. Uh, one of my friend called me a hopeless optimist.
Wow.
So I don't dwell on challenges too long. I just ask myself, what can be done? What do I learn from it? And then just move on from it. I remember
Now
one of
that's
my associate, he mentioned that anything that can be solved with money is not a problem. As long as you are still alive, as long as you are still healthy, the rest of the problem is actually not really a big problem.
So that was very nice, very nicely said. Um, what was your favorite uh, first experience as a trainer like?
My what? Sorry, my first
your
experience
first experience as a
First
trainer.
conducting
experience as a
session.
trainer. Yeah.
I believe everyone have the same experience. Is nervous, is worry, is about fearful, right? It's about nervous whether I can do my job or not. It is worried that I might forget what I need to say. It is about worried that whether I will give the wrong information or right information. It's about fearful whether the participant might dislike me, whether I can gain the trust, the respect. So I guess everybody have the same experience, I guess. And that
Um,
that is cool. That is cool. I think that makes us human.
yeah. So, your can you tell us a bit about your journey as a train when you first joined trainer?
My
When you
journey,
first
yeah.
journey, yeah.
Okay, like what I shared just now. Same thing. Like I guess many people they are not what you call, they don't become trainer out of inspiration, right? They become trainer out of because of accident. Same thing. I didn't become trainer out of inspiration, but rather reciprocation. It was an act to reciprocate the support of one of my uni mate then, Mr. Lee Wing Kai, helping him to promote his road safety program. Then after that, after some time, I also get involved in conducting training. Right? So we conduct a lot of road safety program, driving, defensive riding, the hearts and mind of driving, and so on. And along the way, we also work closely with a lot of multinational companies like Shell, Lafarge, Toyota. I have also learned a lot from them. And after some time, Shell Malaysia actually brought us to China, to Shell China, and because of Shell China also work together, joint venture with Petro China, we also render our service to Petro China. I was the only one then who can speak both Mandarin and also English, so that's why I was the only one candidate who can conduct training. And China people, right? They treat you so well, and really well. They really make you feel like you're super VIP. Then after that, they come back to you, Mr. Chan, please, without your cert, we cannot go to the offshore and work. And again, I'm kind of person who tend to reciprocate the good deeds one. So there were a few trips whereby I continuously conduct training for more than 20 days. Then only we found out that there was this big contractor for Petro China alone. They have 1 million drivers, so definitely cannot finish. So that is where we start to come up with this idea of conducting train the trainer to certify the trainer over there in China to conduct our program, which was approved by Shell. So my train the trainer experience actually started in China way back in 2012, before I became trainer for PSMB in 2015. Now, when I was conducting defensive driving training, right, I received a lot of feedback whereby my participant wrote there in the feedback that CP is very passionate about road safety. Now, when I did my self-reflection, I have to confess I was not passionate about road safety, but I was passionate about people. The moment people walk into my training, be it 1 day or half day or 2 days, I see them not only as a head count, not as a number, but a friend. If something were to happen to them, I will feel very bad. And I always have this underlying fear in me, whether I'm doing my job properly or not. But when I get exposed to train the trainer, I found that really ticks all the boxes, so to call, in my mind. Like what I shared early in the session, right? Two things that always capture my attention and my interest to research into is, number one is the human behavior, number two is the learning process. And train your trainer, when you come down to the core of it, is exactly these two things: the learning process, the human behavior.
Yeah, I think that is very nicely said, Chan, or other CP, if I may ask. The two things
Sure.
that you spoke about and you repeated that again,
Yeah.
learning process and also human behavior. And I
Yeah.
think that is very essential for a particular trainer to become a good trainer. Can you elaborate more on these two things, why they are important, and how do you instill this to those people who go through the trainer process under your care?
Train the HRDF or HRD Corp Train the Trainer is actually a 5 days program, right? Most of my participants, they'll be with me for the next 4 days or 5 days. And I think for a trainer, it's very important for us to walk the talk. Walk the talk. I not only teach them, I also demonstrate to them. That is why I observe that young trainer, they will pay attention to what I say. But experienced trainer who came into my training, they will actually observe what I do. So I think walking the talk is very important. And I love one of the quotes from one of my participants, Miss Polly Kang. She says that she shared with everybody. She realized that before we open up the head, we need to open up the mind. Before we open up the mind, we need to open up the heart. And that is very important. Otherwise, people will always remain to be a glass half full, and then they will fail to take another half from the side. That is one. For the learning process now, academically since young, I was not a full A student, but I was doing okay. I was doing okay. I always maintained to be in the maybe the top 20%. But my learning journey is a struggle one. There are a lot of time I have to memorize. And those of you who have ever studied in a Chinese school, I think Warren, you also studied in Chinese school, right?
Yes, yes,
So the
Chan.
very traditional way is to memorize. You just
Exactly. Yeah.
you swallow everything.
So
So that
only. Yeah.
so only then you digest. You are learning like a cow lah. You eat first, you swallow first, then you slowly digest in your fourth stomach. So I did that. I was a hard worker during my student days, but I find that it is a struggle. Then I along the way I found ways how to accelerate the learning. During my uni days also, I became a freelance trainer, a freelance tutor. I also offer to coach those orphan in an orphanage in PJ lah, one point of time. And I managed to actually came up with a few models. I teach them chemistry, I teach them physics. I came up with formulas that was able to help them to actually accelerate the learning. And that brought satisfaction to me. So this accelerated learning is very important, especially for the adults nowadays. There is this professor from Israel by the name of Professor Yuval Harari. He shared that he wrote a book called Sapien, right? Sapien. He shared that those were the days our parents, we know that the world will need engineer for the next 10 years, 20 years. When I enrolled in UM, we know that IT is here to take over engineering. But according to this Professor Yuval Harari, right, he says for the next 50 years, the world really don't know what kind of expertise that we need. We only know that there will be a lot of changes. The changes will be very drastic. And one of the skill for us is to be able to adapt, to learn things fast. So I always share one methodology in my training, a methodology called experiential learning. And that is one of the accelerated learning that you can really help to drive a learning point very efficiently and very effectively.
Beautiful.
That's very
Beautiful.
nice, Chan. Um, I believe everyone has their own inspiration. So who inspired you to be a trainer?
I know it was a fluke shot you said, yeah, Chan, yeah. But I'm sure
Yeah,
deep inside, being a teacher, right now that today is a Teacher's Day, being a
yeah,
teacher, you need to have the ability. We all go to school, we all work, we all meet people, but becoming a teacher, I believe, Chan, is
yeah.
something very inspirational, and you get that inspiration through someone. So I think the question that Rajwin wants to ask is, who is that
Start it
mentor, the person
with
who really made you become who you are?
yeah. Was it
Well, number one, I will have to attribute that to my former boss, my uni mate, Mr. Lee Wen Kai. He was the founder of Road Safety Company. I was helping him then. A lot of my training methodology, actually, I learned from him. He inspired me to be an outlier, inspired me to challenge the norm, even challenge myself. All right. I also have many uh, virtual role model like there is this book called Tuesday with Maury by Mitch Albom. He wrote about how the high school teacher actually leave an impact in him. So when I was reading the book, I really recall many of my high school teacher, my primary school teachers, my tutor, and all the seniors have helped me during my primary and secondary school time. But too bad lah. Last time we don't have this social media, right? See? So that's why most of them I actually lose contact. I lose contact. So there is a bit of regret in my life. I also have many virtual role model like people like Mitch Albom, right? Adam Grant, people like Madam Lillian Lui. Now, many of you never heard of Madam Lillian Lui. She is a principal based in Hong Kong. based in Hong Kong. One point of time, she actually took over a kindergarten that was about to be closed down, and she helped them to survive until now. Her story was being made into a movie called Little Big Master. So it's a very good movie. I will encourage every teacher, every trainer, every coach to watch that movie, because that movie will really teach us about the passion in being a teacher.
So
And
today is
and of course, apart from that, right, I also draw my inspiration from every one of you. From Rajvin, for example, because Rajvin come into my training, I learned about love and compassion. Warren, I learned about the lesson of giving, and also Dr. Shan and Mandy also in the same session with Rashwin. You still remember them, Rashwin, Dr.
yeah,
Shan,
I hope they're
Mandy?
watching this today.
Oh, both they're watching this. Yeah, I learned from them the power of giving. I learned from another participant, Ashok Kumar from Laka, the power of the fighting spirit. Right? There are so many more, and those of you who participated in my training program, I believe all my participants, you will observe that whenever all of you are talking, I will be taking some notes and I will jot down. So I always share with my participant in BTD. I say that half of what I've shared with you, those are the insight, those are the idea from the rest of my participants. So I have to attribute that to them.
So great to know that we are one of your inspiration. So today is Teachers Day. So what do you think a teacher's role or a trainer's role is towards a student?
I totally agree with Warren. When Warren said just now, a teacher or trainer is more than a transferer of knowledge or skill. Because teacher, right? Teacher, when you dissect the word, is actually teacher, or in Malay words, tukang ajar. I believe we should be more than that, right? We should be more than that. We Because sometimes you never know what kind of footprint, what kind of impact you leave in the heart of your participant. Sometimes when I bump into my participant, they'll say, "Oh, CP, I still remember you say this." Then I would be telling them, "Ah, did I?" You never know what you say that will actually leave the impression in them. So it's very important for us to be careful what we say, what we do, and sometimes you will never know. I have participants telling me because, like for example, our course, actually all my course, before they came to my course, I actually sent out a very detailed journey instruction to all my participants, the venue and so on. So sometimes a few of them they'll say that, oh, I actually learned something from CP before I even come to the training. I learned that we don't leave it to chance. We have to plan everything, send out the joining instruction and so on. And then I also have another participant earlier of this year, because of MCO and Putrajaya was CMCO. Then we actually moved our session to CMCO. So I was there because I was not familiar with the area. So by 7:30, session start at 9, but I was already there 7:30, set up almost everything. And then I saw this young man came in. And then second day when he shared with everybody, he said that, oh, I thought that I was the first one who came in. Then I saw CP was taking off his shoe, climbing up, adjusting the clock on the wall. Initially, I thought that I was very experienced in IT. When my company want me to be a trainer, I thought it's just sharing what I know. Then the first day when I saw CP, I realized that there are so many things that we need to do. So it's about all these little things that mounts into a bigger lesson for everyone else.
So um, I believe that training industry is very important. The future of training industry is very very bright. So what do you think the future of training industry would be?
Mm. Before I
In
tell this, I may want to give a caveat that I was once called a hopeless optimist. I don't know if it sounds overly optimistic to everybody.
Yeah.
Trainer nowadays, we have many trainers in Malaysia. The last I heard, for HRDF certified trainer, we have more than 50,000, right? Some of them, they are worried about competition. But I tell them that the reality is that not only you need to compete with the rest of the trainer, you also need to compete with all the online self-paced learning. You also need to compete with Google. We also need to compete with YouTube, right? So it's a matter of the needs is definitely there. Because of recently we have this COVID-19, we have this disruption of the business model, we have internet changed how we read, how we write, how we think, right? And people are getting more impatient. People don't really read, or even if they read, they don't have this deep reading. So they need people, coach, trainer, teacher like you and me, who will be able to help them to make it relevant to them, who help to relate things to them, who help them to connect the dots.
I
And
think CP.
COVID-19, yeah,
Go ahead. COVID-19.
yeah. I mean, COVID-19, right, is more than just a biological effect. It also changed the psychology of learning, working, living, and so on.
Yeah.
A lot of things will be changed. So again, it's a matter of how we, as a trainer, as a teacher, we learn things fast. We learn how to simplify complex concept. We transfer to them. We help them make it relevant. We help them to apply, and we help them to adjust. We help them to grow. We help them to strive, and we help them to thrive.
I think it's very nice what you said there, CP. Something that I learned is that when I was starting to go to China for training, there were some of
Yeah.
my buddies were saying, "Hey, you know what? Try not to share this information to the rest of the trainers out there." When I asked them why, they said, "Then you won't have the market." But you see, the pie is too big. Everybody will have their shares. I mean, it's too big of a cake, I would say. Yeah, everyone has have their own share. You need to be able to find your niche, like what you have been doing. Pecha kucha is another thing that I think you have been doing big time. Yeah, and that's your style. I think your style in doing something differently brings about a different ball game altogether.
Yeah. I agree. I was watching this YouTube about the interview of Edison Chen. I'm not
Uh
sure
huh.
all of you know him or not. He was once as a Hong Kong celebrity. Then he actually stopped being one because of a sex scandal. But
Yeah.
now he has become a successful entrepreneur. He owned 8 brands. All brands has become multi-million brand. And he was giving this speech in the University of New York. And one of the students actually came out to him and say, I tried to be original, but all my lecturer told me that nowadays there are no such thing as original. So I really like Edison's answer, whereby he says that being original does not mean that you have to make something brand new. And there are a lot of ideas that has been spoken 5,000 times, thousands of times. It's a matter of how you innovate, how you bring in new things, and how can you do that is by drawing inspiration from everyone, from other people product, from the conversation with your friend, from the training program that you attended, from the ideas and so on, right? And I'm also reading a book called The Hockey Sticks Principle now. Interesting, the idea also coincide. He actually advised all the young entrepreneurs, don't worry about sharing your idea. Because at the end of the day, according to research, original idea don't work. That is number one. You need to continue to brainstorm, to work and improve on it. That is what matters. And number two, the key of success is not about original idea. The key of success is about execution.
Very nicely said. Chan, I have got many comments here. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people are saying good things about you. Yeah, Tajwinder Singh says excellent sharing. SM Go says everyone has someone who inspires us. And you have got Lim Wee Tim, Roxanne Lim, Molly Ann, and Lee Jean. So many of them are giving you well wishing, yeah, and Teachers Day wishes. So yeah, it's very nice. I've got this one question that came by, and I want to ask you, Mr. CP. I just got myself certified as the trainer. Uh, During this COVID time, she's asking, what should I do or what can I do to be alive? Is the question that she's asking. Can you answer her?
Wow, this is a very heavy question for me. It's a matter of life and death, is it?
No, when she said
Uh,
alive, I think just being alive in the training industry.
okay, okay. What's her name again?
Rajin.
Rajin,
Rajin.
Rajin,
Rajin. Yeah.
Rajin,
Rajean.
R-A-J,
Jean. Rajin.
R-A-J-E-A-N, Rajin, Okay, let
That's
me make
right.
sure that I did not pronounce her. It's a
I
her,
hope
right?
I'm pronouncing it properly also. Rajin.
It's a her, right?
Definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So Rajin, number one, like it or not, we are also training entrepreneurs, right? So yeah, it's very important for us to be able to survive before we can spread our influence. Yeah, we need to survive first. I think all industry are like that. So first thing first, you need to ask yourself, Rajin, is number one, do you have any avenue to put yourself out there in the market or not? Do you have enough contact? Like it or not, all business is also about who you know, right? Apart from what you know, is about who you know. So question number one is that how many people do you know? How many avenue that you can actually explore to put out your services and your idea, your philosophy out there. There is also a Facebook group for all the trainers. I think Warren, you're also in it. So
Yes.
probably you can share that link to everybody over here. They can ask for the permission to be part of the trainer groups, right? Because sometimes they are also trainer provider there. They're also looking for trainers. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one. That's one. How do you sell yourself? We need to be a salesperson first. If you are not good in sales, I would recommend that either you have two choice. Either you learn the tricks of selling yourself or selling a program, or number two, you get a partner who is good in selling your program to do it for you, or you can connect and network with the rest of the training provider. So that's one way. Number two is about let me see. Like what I said just now, there are a lot of trainers. Customer always have choices. If you're talking ISO, probably another 20,000 certified trainer out there. If you are
Yeah.
talking about customer service, maybe 35,000 people. If you are talking about even trainer, easily we are talking about 5,000 to 10,000 people who can conduct trainer. So the question is, why you? Why not them? A very important key is that you need to be authentic, right? It's not about me too. Now the me too over here is not about the me too movement, something to do with the sexual harassment, not that one. Don't be me too, because you need to ask yourself this question: what are the unique things about you that you can actually share? This is not an easy question to ask. This is a question that you have to continue to ask yourself. This is a question that you have to continue to get feedback from all your participants, all your friends, everybody that they have you have come you have crossed your path with them. All right. So the clearer you are with what you really are, what you can really offer, I think it's easier for you to sell yourself and sell your program.
Uh, Good sharing, Chan. Did you ever? Discrimination is very common among trainers or anyone nowadays. So, did you ever face any discrimination while being in this training industry?
Discrimination. Discrimination.
Discrimination.
I think the word discrimination is too negative because it gives us a connotation of very evil intention. I will not say discrimination, but the reality is that there are also people who came in and judge you prematurely. There are people who tend to stereotype you. whether you are too old, you are too young, you are too not looking, not good looking, or too good looking. There are also people who tend to benchmark you against their favorite trainers. Sometimes it may not be a fair playground. Yeah. Whenever we have all these things happen, instead of trying to defend ourselves, I will advocate that all the trainers and teachers, you focus on giving more, focus on sharing more framework, more tools, more experience, and also bear in mind that people respond to things very differently. I still remember that I was conducting this session for one of the private university in Malaysia. So I have this lecturer. When I say one, she will say two. When I say two, she will say three. The best reaction I get from her is a poker face, right? And then I observed that. But no matter how, to me, whoever came into my training, I told myself I need to add value in them, so I continue to give. Then after that, not long after I concluded that session, so I was bidding for another training program. So customer was asking for a character reference. So I shared in the WhatsApp group because they were my latest group. So when I share, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I am looking for a character reference. Who can be my character reference? So in my mind, right, I was thinking, oh, maybe Rajvin will jump out first, Mandy will jump out first, Warren will jump out first. But to my present surprise, she was the first one who jumped out. I will be your character reference. I also have an encounter whereby a participant, he actually, during that 5 days, he actually exhibit a lot of quite a passive body language, arm folded, lay back. But when I was trying to ask him question, right, to my present surprise, he actually paid attention. So my point is that people respond to things in a very different manner. So we just have to be open-minded and continue to give, continue to add value. Don't judge.
As a trainer, do you actually like training, or
Uh,
are you are you into something else?
So
Rashmi,
If you had a choice,
so the question
I
that she's asking is, are you,
do you
do you like to train or do you like to teach? And there's a thin line, there's a fine line to it, yeah, Chan. Yeah, training is very much like what you said, methodological, but then teaching is it's I would say 99.9% from the heart, yeah, because it really is a different ball game altogether. What is your preference?
will not be too obsessive about the definition of the role. All right, whether it's teacher, trainer, to me, it's the same. What will differentiate is only how much do you care. You can be playing a very traditional teacher role, but when you really care a lot, you'll be like the Madam Lillian Lui in Hong Kong.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
If you don't care, if you are there only to do your job, collect your checks, and hope to make your millions, you can be a certified trainer. You can be a very experienced trainer. To me, if you
excellent
understand
chat?
my body language,
Very nicely
right?
said. Very nicely said. Very nicely said.
For as long as I've known you, you have been a passionate trainer.
Mm,
So, what is
thank
your
you.
advice to future trainers out there?
My advice is training is a wonderful journey because not only we help people to learn, we also learn ourselves. We continue to expand our intelligence horizon. We will continue to expand our life experience, right? So if you no, again, there's another book called by this CEO of Starbucks. He wrote a book called "Pour Your Heart Into It." Right. So I will use that title to give the same advice to everyone. Pour your heart into it, and just like what Steve Jobs say, if you really enjoy your work, you seems to be working in the eyes of other people, but actually you're not working. you're playing. I am playing with all my participants in my 5 days. I laugh with them. Sometimes I tease them. They laugh at me. It's fun. It is fun. It's fun.
Indeed, indeed. Very nice.
Yeah.
Any last words for the audience celebrating Teachers' Day today?
Yeah, you got plenty of teachers here on screen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, just now I saw in the Star newspaper, I think the ruler of Selangor Sultan, I think, he mentioned that teachers are the unsung hero. Teachers are the forgotten first liner. And I think that unfortunately is a reality, right? Um, the role of teacher may not sound very glamorous, but again, when you pour your heart into it, when you really make a difference, that that will create impact not only in other people's life, it will also make your life story a worthwhile story for you to write. When I was talking this, I recall that there was this teacher. This teacher, she came from China, resided in Malaysia for many years. She's retired now. She's 90 years old, and most of her students are in their 70s, 80s, and many of them I read in the newspaper one day that all these alumni students, they will, for every year they never fail to have this dinner for her to celebrate with her. So you never know. Sometimes you don't need a big batch, you don't need $1 million contract to justify your impact. I guess as a human, all of us are obligated to contribute to humanity, right? And one of the way to contribute to humanity is that all of us, we need to play the role of a student, and all of us, we need to play the role of a teacher. Confucius says that we can learn from everyone, and we can do that if we keep a humble heart and open mind. So the last word will be, let me quote Steve Jobs lah, stay foolish, stay hungry, stay foolish.
Thank you, Chan, for the wonderful sharing with us.
No problem.
Before we end, I like the way Chan mentioned that our teachers are our heroes, our trainers are our heroes as well. I take Chan as an example, and I have, before we end, I have a little bit of sharing uh, my journey as my journey as a trainer, and so far, and a poem for all teachers out there. Let me share with you my journey as a trainer. I I graduated from TTT under my lovely teacher here, Mr. Chan Chen Ping from uh, Brownland. I'm very fortunate to have him on the show today. Um, After that, I have started. I had been giving few trial sessions, and then um, in uh, in in March 2021, I met this one. I got to know this wonderful gentleman who his name is Ishwaran, who is my business partner, who was introduced to me by another trainer, and we have been doing. Of course, when I started my first show, an evening with Rajvin and Waran, I was scared. I was scared. I was not. I was very jittery. But as went along, I I began to to appreciate it and to think that it's a wonderful journey as well. So training, it's a wonderful journey. So to all my friends who want to venture in this journey, we are with you, and we are we are with you, and will help you to explore this wonderful journey. Um, Before we end, I would like to dedicate this poem to my lovely trainer, teacher, and to all my teachers out there. It goes like this, Ria. From from getting dim, skin gets pale. Too little to see, too little to see. Uh, Yet they can feel. Hands getting tired. Time is too scale. They sleep and wake up every hour, eager to learn and eager to teach. Thank them, our future isn't far, a mile away, still a hand at reach. Happy Teachers' Day to all teachers out there.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much, Rajwin, for the lovely poem. Yeah. CP, anything else that you want to say before we leave?
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the opportunity. It has been a lovely evening. It's my pleasure. So I hope everybody the best of journey being a trainer. Again, it's a worthwhile journey. So enjoy your journey and enjoy the smell of roses along the journey.
Lovely said, very lovely words. Yeah, enjoy the smell of the roses. Thank you so much once again, CP. It was definitely an honor for us to have you in our show. Well, there you go. What a show, Rajwin. Fantastically done. I remember what my dad used to say. Everyone whom you meet is a teacher. Everyone whom you meet is a teacher, regardless of age, background, environment, where they are from. They teach you one thing or another. So I've got these three lovely teachers that I want to give shout out to. Encik Tohid, who made me a good man when I was in secondary school. Puan Chan, she's an amazing lady. She was teaching science stream students, and then she called me to teach me mathematics, and I scored my maths in SPM because of her. So Puan Chan, thank you so much. And of course, not forgetting my lovely, lovely, lovely teacher Rajwin, who gave me yet another life. Now she is an amazing teacher. If you really want to know who is a teacher, Rajwin Kaur Randawa. She is a very good teacher. So, gentlemen, ladies, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the contribution. I've got loads of messages coming. Thank you so much for all the sharing. Thank you for being with us. We shall meet again very soon with yet another evening with Rajwin and Warren. Thank you. Bye bye.